Hi, and welcome to Ivy English. I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
We're almost at the end of the month. We're in the final stretch of November. It's November 24th. And today we are talking about be in the red. That's bad.
Yeah, 今天我们要谈的惯用语呢，我们今天这个是惯用语单元，那我们要谈的第一个惯用语是 to be in the red， 就是出现赤字。这个其实中文蛮好想的，因为我们中文也是用赤字嘛。那 the red 感觉起来这种特别的红，在这里指的就是赤字。
I mean, people in the end of the month are often in the red because we all get paid in the beginning of the next month.
Oh, yeah. 所以大部分的人都是在月初领薪水，所以到了月底的时候，很多人就会是 to be in the red. To be in the red 就是一般公司在记账的时候，通常都是用红色的数字代表亏损或者是负债，所以这个赤字，就我们中文也是这样讲，所以就这样来了。好，所以例如我们可以讲说 the government has been in the red for quite a few years. 哇，蛮惨的。
Yeah.
政府啊，已经这个财政赤字很多年了。
But the thing is,
Yeah.
governments are supposed to spend money. That's their whole job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Yeah.
a government being in debt is not the same thing as a household being in debt. Actually, a government being in debt is good because that means that money is out in the economy helping other people make money. That's
Yeah.
what government bonds are. Governments are actually supposed to be slightly in the red.
Yeah, government bond 就是这个公债，政府公债，所以政府负债其实不是那么坏的事情。当然你不能说负太多债啊，因为政府负债，刚刚 Angela 老师解释，就表示这个钱呢放到民间去了，所以让资金在民间流动，很多人就有这个机会可以赚更多的钱。So what's the opposite of to be in the red?
To be in the black. Now, red and black we don't normally think of as opposites, but here's the thing. This was an accounting system invented in the Middle Ages. Yes. And so why red and black? It's because ink is black, right? So originally people would just write down the money they had. But the invention at that time was to write down the money that you did not have. And they needed another ink color, and the easiest one to produce was red. So red became bad, and black became good. And so it's interesting because in Western culture, we also have this red associated with danger thing, right? And it's not because of the ink color, but there's a correlation here. So in the East, red is a celebratory color, but in the West, red is associated with danger. And so I think that maybe they picked the red ink to be the in-debt color, maybe because it's associated with danger. There's no proof of this. It's just possibly.
OK, 所以这个 Angela 老师说呢，这个是因为在可能是中世纪的时候，可以追溯到中世纪的时候，那个时候大家都是用黑色的墨写东西嘛。但后来发现，如果要记这个亏钱啊，或者是要记一些亏损、负债等等的，那应该要用一个不同的颜色。那其实那个时候他们发现，红色的这个墨水呢也相当好制造，所以他们就用红色。那另外有一个巧合，就是在西方文化里面的红其实常常代表 danger， 常常代表危险。这跟东方不太一样，东方常常红代表喜事，那在西方的红通常代表危险。那到会不会这个是某一种巧合啦？就是大家都不喜欢看到赤字，但就像西方看到红会觉得有危险这种感觉，所以大家可以这样去联想。那总之呢，这个 to be in the red 它的相反就是 to be in the black， 就是说你的收支上出现黑字的话，那就表示有赚钱有盈余，所以这样就很棒。例如说公司赚钱了，我们可以得到丰厚的奖金。How do we say that in English?
So we got a big bonus because our company is in the black.
那要注意 bonus 可以数的，最好越多越好。对，所以好 we got a big bonus. Bonus 是红利，就奖金啦。所以公司赚钱，所以我们得到丰厚的奖金。
Okay, so we have a dialogue here between Linda and Jack. I just spoke to Terry in accounting. Everything all right? Not good. We've got problems with sales. What type? Major ones. We're seriously in the red. That's not good. We need to turn things around quickly, or we could go bankrupt. I'll try my best. Hopefully we'll be in the black by the end of the year.
Wow, good job.
Well, hopefully, she said. She didn't promise anything because it's not entirely up to just her. It's kind of weird. Who's this Linda that she thinks that she can just that Jack thinks that she can single-handedly turn that thing around? Jack, your expectations are a little unrealistic. and Linda is also unrealistic. She's like, yeah, I'm going to try. It's not really up to her, but okay. Anyways,
yeah.
So Linda said, I just spoke to Terry in accounting. So This is such a classic thing to say. I just spoke to somebody in accounting, in whatever department. So I just talked to, Wesley in English literature, or I just talked to Angela in the executive suite. Notice the difference. I just spoke to so-and-so in the Defense Department.
Yeah. So you can say both I just spoke to or I just talked to. They're both fine. Yeah.
But then it's in whatever department.
Yeah. 好，所以这个地方呢，其实 I just spoke to someone 或者是 I just talked to someone. 这是其实在职场英语里面常常会讲到哈，就是我刚才跟谁谈过。
I just spoke to Wesley in waste management.
Yeah, guess what's the first waste I'm going to manage? Okay, yeah. 所以呢，这个 in 就 I just spoke to someone in 某一个部门，那 in 是后面接的是个部门。那在这里呢 accounting 就是指会计部门，所以它也可以指会计，那在这里指的是会计部门。所以这句话其实在办公室里面常常会听到 I just spoke to 某人 in 可能是 accounting， 所以我刚刚才跟会计部门的 Terry 谈过，这是这句话的意思。
You know what? I've decided that Linda is the CEO and Jack is the CFO. Okay. Because then Jack is like, everything all right? Did Terry in accounting give us the green light?
Yeah, 好，所以呢，这两个大概都公司的高层了 ，Yeah.
And Linda's like, not good, not good. Things are bad. We've got problems with sales. And sales are the lifeblood of the company. You can be making the best product ever, and if it's not selling, what are you doing?
Yeah, 好，所以这一段对话，这个 Jack 跟 Linda 这个对话也是很常听到的。像 Jack 说 everything all right， 他其实是 is everything all right， 那 is 省略掉了哈 ，everything all right。如果说真的事情不太妙的话，你看 Linda 的回答 not good， 其实他的意思就是中文的意思不妙哦 ，not good。
And she also
not good, yeah.
And she also skipped the verb. She said she could have said it's not good, but she just went straight to not good.
Yeah， 所以这个 it's 也省略掉，所以这个是很常听到一种对话，就 everything all right, not good。然后呢，这个接下来呢，这个也是很好的一个语块。We've got problems with something， 就是我们哪方面出了问题了。We've got problems with。那在这里呢，公司最常出现的就是 sales 的问题，就销售的问题。产品可能很棒，可是卖不出去，就赚不了钱。所以 we've got problems with something. We've got problems with sales.
So then Jack reasonably asks what type, but it's not clear if he's talking about what type of problems or what type of sales.
所以呢，在这里呢 Jack 只说 what type， 其实有两种可能，一个是 what type of sales， 是哪一个东西的销售，哪一种销售我们出了问题。但是这个 what type 也可以是怎么样 what type of problems， 就是我们的问题是哪一种问题。因为你说 we've got problems with sales， 那是销售出了问题，是什么问题呢？那我们从 Linda 的回答就可以了解 Linda 她理解到的是 what type of problems。Yeah,
but she doesn't answer what kind of problems. She just says that they're big.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
She doesn't say, well, it's a problem with XYZ mechanism or because we have this company issue, blah, blah, blah. She's just like, it's bad. What kind of problems? Major ones, really big ones, the kind of ones that are going to make us lose our jobs. Bad.
Yeah, so is it possible that, when Linda says, we've got problems with sales, and Jack says, what problems? Yeah. That would be very clear, right?
I mean, he actually asked a very clear question. He asked what type of problems, and she went and kind of became vague on him. Like she didn't answer his question. He asked the question fine, but she decided not to answer it.
But what type can mean what type of sales, right?
Yeah, it could be what type of sales or what type of problem. I mean, she had a lot of things that she could have answered, and she evaded him completely by saying, they're big.
所以这个地方是 Linda 她的回答，这反而是比较没那么清楚。她只是 Jack 问她说什么问题 what type 哪一种问题，哪一种这个 sales 等等的。但是 Linda 只说 major ones， 就是大问题，或者是这个事情很大，大条啊那样啊。
And then she's like, we're seriously in the red. She could have just said we're in the red, and that's already bad, but she said we're seriously in the red, which makes it sound like the company is like this close to bankruptcy.
所以 seriously 是严重的，所以 Linda 她可以只说 we're in the red， 就是表示我们这个公司亏钱了，但是呢，她特别强调是严重亏钱 ，we're seriously in the red.
And so then Jack is like, well, obviously that's not good. So he tried to get specific information and instead she went for the emotional argument, and so now he's like deeply in his emotions, and he's like, ugh, we're going to lose our jobs, we're going to lose our company. Wow, that's not good.
好，所以 that's not good 这个中文就是那糟糕了，那惨了的意思，不好，这事情不妙，代志不妙了，叫 that's not good.
And then he goes for the most obvious thing to say, which is we need to turn things around quickly. If you turn something around, it means you go from going to a bad direction to going towards a good direction. You make a 180-degree turn. You need to turn them around quickly. We need to improve our business practices on the double because we could go bankrupt. We could lose everything.
Yeah. 好，所以呢，这个地方呢，他说 we need to 我们必须要 turn things around. Turn around 在这里就是 to reverse the direction or course of something. 就是你把这个方向转一下 reverse 就把它倒转。所以他在这里其实 to reverse a decline in performance 或者是 value. 所以 decline 就是你的这个绩效下降了，那你要 turn it around. 你要把它逆转回来，所以在这里大概这个 turn around 这个意思，我想大家也很容易了解，这方向要倒转回来，就是 improve 的意思啊，尤其是你的这个 performance 不好，你要把它 improve 一下，要改进一下。所以例如你也可以说 the company's sales turned around this quarter.
Yeah, it's like making a U-turn. You go back the opposite direction.
Yeah, 好，就好像这个回转一样。所以呢，这个 Jack 说，我们赶快要让事情要赶快要扭转一下这个趋势，否则 or 就是 or else， 我们可以 go bankrupt。各位，这我们这个月第二次出现了 go bankrupt， 就是破产。
And then Linda just takes the entire thing on her own shoulders and goes, I'll try my best. I'll try my best to avoid bankruptcy. It's not just you, Linda. It's you and the whole company. Okay? It's weird. But then she's like, hopefully we'll be in the black by the end of the year. I want to know how many months you've got left. It's November.
Yeah, 所以呢，这个 Linda 说 I'll try my best 哈，这感觉起来他把assume the responsibility， 所以他就好，我就一肩扛起来 I'll try my best， 我会尽力啦。那 hopefully 希望我们 by the end of the year 到了年底，我们就会反亏为盈 to be in the black.All
right, so that was our first dialogue, and now we've got another one talking about cutting corners. And here's Linda back with us, but now she's talking with Hank.
所以我们这一个第二个要学的这个惯用语是 cut corners. Cut corners 就是节省开支的意思。那 cut 在这里是切的意思，那 corners 就是指角落或者马路的那个拐角的地方。那有的时候我们为了节省时间走路，往往我们就不会乖乖的顺着那个人行道走，我们会想办法走捷径。所以 cut corners 它就是不经过拐角抄近路的意思。那慢慢它就引申成为节省金钱、节省时间劳力、投机取巧，甚至于有偷工减料的感觉。所以 cut corners 就是 to skip certain steps in order to do something as easily or cheaply as possible， 就是你 skip 你跳过某一些步骤。那通常这样的结果就会损害到你的 finished product 或者你的 end result， 所以 cut corners 常常就代表你得到的结果不是那么好，所以我们刚刚讲它常常有那种投机取巧啊、偷工减料那种意思，它本来也有那种 to take shortcuts 的意思。
It's like getting somewhere, getting a result faster, but recklessly and possibly with lower quality.
Yeah, 所以重点是 possibly with lower quality。 好，你偷工减料了，那可能这个结果你的东西的品质可能就会比较差一点。那底下这两个例句其实都很好，例如说我们如果英文要讲说我们必须想办法省下一些开支以符合预算。 How do we say that in English?
We have to cut corners to meet the budget, so we have to start chipping off this or that expense, or we are going to exceed our expenses.
Yeah, 所以 meet the budget 就是符合预算。那如果我们要说到学英文，你不应该投机取巧。 How do we say that in English?
When it comes to learning English, you shouldn't cut corners. So you shouldn't do it in a sloppy or careless way. You should dot all your I's and cross all your T's.
Yeah, 你的所有的 I 都要记得要点，所有的 T 都要画那个横线，意思就是你要按部就班，不要这个偷工减料。Yeah.
So here we have Hank and Linda. Now remember, Linda was just...
A mysterious CEO.
She was our mysterious CEO who's like, I'm going to turn this company around.
Yeah.
And so I think this is one of her first steps. So she goes and talks to Hank. And Hank is probably the head of the marketing department. I'm just guessing, based on this dialogue. So let's see. Do you think we can spend more on marketing? Yes, but we'll need to be strategic about it. What do you mean? We'll have to cut corners in other areas to compensate for the increased marketing budget.
Where do you suggest we make those cuts?
Travel. We'll have to cut down on our spending when we travel for conferences.
That doesn't sound too bad.
That doesn't sound too bad until you're in a 3-star hotel with cockroaches, Hank.
所以这个他这里讲到要节省开销，就是这个旅行的支出、差旅的支出要减少一点。这个听起来好像不是那么糟糕，但是到时候这个本来可以住4星级的饭店，后来让你去住3星、2星的，那你就比较麻烦了。Yeah.
Oh, or it's like when the company's like, yeah, you can use your own car and your own wear and tear and you'll pay for the gasoline and we might compensate you for some of these, but only 3 months down the line after endless paperwork.
Yeah, 所以或者是你可以开车，但或者用自己，你应该可以开自己的车，那油料公司补助，可是补助下来大概要3个月等等的这个问题。Yeah.
So anyways, so Hank is like, how do we, make sure our products sell? Because that's the whole point. They're trying to get their products to sell. And he's like, well, maybe we should spend more on marketing. Maybe we should tell more people about our product so that they will buy it.
Yeah, 所以显然他们在这里 they're trying to turn things around. 所以呢，这个 Hank 就建议说，你认为 do you think 我们是不是可以 spend more on marketing? Marketing 就市场行销。你觉得我们是不是在市场行销上面可以多花点钱行销，这样东西可能比较卖得出去。Spend more 就 spend more money on 后面加一个名词或者加一个动名词，就在这方面多花点钱。
And in general, yes, spending more on marketing will get you somewhere. But if you don't have that much money to spend, you've got to say what Linda says, which is, yes, we need to spend more money, but we need to be strategic about it. We can't just do whatever. We can't just throw all sorts of money at it. We have to pick and choose where's the best places or where's the most efficient results.
Yeah, so I like this sentence. 这种说法我觉得蛮好的哈。We'll need to be strategic about something. About it. 就别人如果提出一个什么建议，你说不错，但是呢，我们这样做的时候，我们要有策略。所以 strategic 就是要有策略。所以所谓什么叫有策略，就是我们不要想到什么就做什么，我们不能没有规划，不动脑筋。
We have to decide which are the best decisions.
Yeah.Yeah, 我们要想到有什么是最好的这个决策，怎么样花才最有效。那你说好多花点钱 on marketing fine， 但是就是要在哪里花，怎么花，我们要有策略。这个非常棒的一句话哈。We'll need to be strategic about it.
Like which marketing areas are best value for dollar?Yeah,
所以例如说你要在哪一个市场或在哪一块上面，在市场行销的哪一块你要多花点钱，那这个钱最能够收到回报，所以你要事先要先想好，要有策略，不能随便乱花钱。
And so Hank's like, what do you mean? Which is a very good thing to ask. It's like, yeah, I agree with you, but can you say more? So what do you mean? Actually, it's not the best way to ask this because it sounds like you don't know. But if you say, can you say more? It means I get you and now say more, give me more information on this.
Yeah, 所以呢，这里呢，这个 Hank 说 What do you mean? 这个是没有什么问题，但是这样子感觉起来 Hank 好像 he has no idea what's happening. 所以what do you mean? 好像完全不知道什么意思。那听起来就如果 Hank 是属下的话，有点笨笨的啊。所以呢，这个地方如果就像 Angela 老师讲的，换一个方法问 Hank， 如果问说 Can you say more? 你可以再多讲一点。那这样的话呢，就表示怎么样 ？I know what you're talking about, but I want to make sure if I understand you correctly.
Or I want more information about what we could do.
Yeah, so
go on.
I want more information. 因为其实如果 Linda 是老板的话，你要弄清楚老板在想什么，这个也蛮重要的。
So then she does say more. She says, well, we'll have to cut corners in other areas to compensate for the increased marketing budget. Because we're spending more money on the marketing, we have to compensate for this by spending less money in other places.
Yeah, 所以呢，我们在这里讲到说 we'll have to 我们要怎么样 cut corners 就是要这个节省一点 in other areas 在其他的地方我们要节省一点，要节省开支，这样才能够 to 表示目的，这样才能够 compensate for 各位把它一起记起来，连那个 for 一起记起来，它就是弥补的意思，补偿的意思。 compensate 就是 to offset O-F-F-S-E-T 或者是 counterbalance 就是抵消，使它平衡。 counterbalance 就是 C-O-U-N-T-E-R-B-A-L-A-N-C-E
A much simpler one is to just make up for it.
最简单的就 to make up for it 就是把它填补过来，弥补过来。好，所以例如说我们这里这个例句蛮好的哈，说 We need to drive a bit faster to compensate for the time lost in the traffic jam. 刚刚塞车浪费了很多时间，现在我们必须要怎么样开快一点呢，才能够 compensate for the time lost in the traffic jam.Bad
idea, though, because that's when you get your speeding ticket.
Yeah, bad idea. 因为你这个可能省了时间了，收了一张罚单，或者更糟糕了，就是这个 speeding 就让你发生了 accident 等等的。好，不过在这里我们再回到这 compensate for， 所以它在其他地方节省开支，目的是要抵消、要补偿 the increased 或者 increased， 就是已经增加的、会增加的这个 marketing budget。行销预算，所以换句话说，在行销上面的预算增加了，那其他地方预算就要或者花费就要减少一点，才能够抵消过来。
Now, Hank, as the head of the marketing department, heard her say that they're going to cut corners, and he went, and he was like, okay, where do you suggest we make those cuts? Because he wants it to come from her and not from him.
好，那这个问句也蛮棒的，大家学起来好。Where do you suggest we 怎样怎样？所以你建议我们要在哪边做这件事情呢？那做什么事呢？ Make those cuts 就是削减那些花费，所以 cuts 在这里是名词 ，make those cuts 就是你觉得我们要在哪方面、哪些地方我们要减少开支呢？
And she's very straightforward. She's thought it through. She's like, travel is where we're going to make the cuts. But then she goes on to explain. She says we'll have to cut down on our spending when we travel for conferences. So we can't be as luxurious as we were before. We have to whittle down our travel budget.
所以 travel 在差旅方面我们要这个减少我们的花费，所以 we'll have to cut down on 是很棒的很重要的一个片语，我们常常看到，所以我们必须要减少，在哪方面减少呢？在我们的 spending 我们的这个花费上面， spending 就是开支支出或者开销，这个字是不可数的，不能加 s。 例如说我们常常讲 government spending 就是政府的开销支出， government spending on health 就是政府在医疗保健方面的这个支出，或者是说 the government is trying to control spending 它要控制它的支出，所以都不加 s 的。那另外一个这个同义字呢是 expenditure expenditure， 不过 expenditure 这个字呢有的时候可数有的时候不可数，它也是指开销开支的意思。所以这里讲说我们必须要在这个我们 travel for conference 我们要出去开会的时候的这个差旅的时候呢，这方面的钱这方面的开支我们必须要 cut down on， 我们要把它减少。所以 cut down on 注意那个 on 不要掉了，因为中文可能想到不用那个 on， 但是英文常常是讲 cut down on something， 例如说 cut down on smoking 就是少抽一点烟的意思。
So then Hank is like, that doesn't sound too bad. Like, that's doable. I think we can do this.
Yeah, 好，所以听起来还不算太糟了哈，就是这个差旅的时候大不了少出去一点，那真的要出去的话就忍耐一下就好了。
So those are our two expressions for today. Hope you've got some new information and some good language you can use. And we'll see you next time for more Ivy English. Until then, bye-bye.